The member for Lanark, Frontenac, Lennox and Addington.
You did that so smoothly, Speaker. It's like as if you had just been there recently. Speaker, it's my pleasure to speak about Bill 31. And before I speak about the merits of the bill, I want to first speak to the priority that had been placed on this bill, where it ranks in the Liberal agenda. So we know, it's been mentioned briefly by some members this afternoon, that Ontario has the safest roads, indeed in all of Confederation, and quite possibly all of North America. The safety of our roads is excellent. I mean, by any measure, by hundreds of thousands of kilometers driven, by hundreds of thousands of licensed drivers, or by population, Ontario has safe roads, and we should commend everybody for that. So, but what we don't have is short waiting times in our hospitals. What we don't have is a reduced unemployment level in this province. What we don't have is a wealth of prosperity. We have economic stagnation, high unemployment, we have extended wait times in our healthcare system, but we have a bill in front of the House to address a whole myriad of concerns and problems with what we're doing well in this province. Okay, just remember, by fatalities, by any measure, we have safe roads, the safest roads in the country. But then you look through some of the merits of the bill, okay? And I have to draw the members' attention to page III of Bill 31. And it's on the 4th paragraph from the bottom. And I read this. Pedestrians, which includes persons in wheelchairs, must not enter a crossover and into the path of a vehicle or streetcar that is so close that the driver cannot stop. Must not be allowed to enter the path of an oncoming vehicle that is so close it cannot stop. Now, clearly, by deduction, we understand that that is a injury, that's a collision. There's going to be somebody injured, quite possibly fatally. So what is this bill going to do to prevent that from happening? We're going to also find the person who has just been injured in that collision. Is that really important? Do you think that is going to prevent somebody from doing that after they've been injured, maybe very tragically injured, that you're now also going to fine them? My God, what sort of thinking is in that? You know, and I think really it's important to recognize, just as I mentioned earlier about the level of people listening to this debate, I think it also applies to the numbers of people who actually have read the legislation and not just their talking points. Go further on page III, the last paragraph. Every person who goes to a physician or an optometrist or a number of regulated health care professionals, if they have an injury or an illness or a condition, that health care professional must report that condition to the MTO. I have that case in my office. One of my staff members has MS. She's about 40 years of age. She's never driven, never plans on driving, will never get a driver's license, but every time she goes to the physician, her physician has to report her to the MTO. Right? What sort of needless bureaucracy is that? Right? making physicians and healthcare professionals be engaged in administration and reporting of people's driving abilities who don't drive. Is that the world of liberalese, I guess, or weaselese? I'm not sure. Speaker, I'm also going to bring on page.
You have to ask that member to withdraw that remark.
Absolutely. Liberalese? Oh, weasel. Oh.
Say I withdraw.
I withdraw. Speaker, but now you go to page 4. Page 4. Third paragraph down. So I'm just staying with the explanatory note because I know nobody's read the clauses. So I'm just going to speak about the explanatory note and hopefully draw their attention to this. So the minister may establish a program for the inspection of vehicles and the issuance of certificates and stickers and blah, 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 and appoint a director of vehicle inspections, standards, and stickers, and blah, 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 blah. Okay? A new director. Now, have we seen, I've not heard anything from the Liberal benches as to what will this cost? How big a bureaucracy are they going to create with the new director of stickers? It's an important question. We are in a deficit position. We have a debt, a significant debt, and now we're going to have a director general of stickers. I'd like to know how much the stickers and the director of the stickers are going to cost us.
Exactly.
And I hope it doesn't infringe or impede upon the minister's fantasy world of reducing the budget and eliminating the deficit by 2018. But we don't know, because we just don't know how much the bloody stickers are going to cost us. Right?
What about the EM of the sticker, Minister?
We can go on and on through this bill. And I'm sorry for all the members of the Liberal bench for having somewhat of a dissident position on their marvelous Bill 31. But it does cause me concern when I read through bills that are not well thought out and not well drafted. That's part of the debate as well. And I think I want to also say, you know, I've been in this chamber now for near 8 years. I've seen legislation after legislation after legislation all brought forward to remedy the ills of our province. Okay? Remedy all the ills. All these bills have been well intended, they tell me, and they're all there to address a problem and create a remedy. You would think now, after this period of time, we would be living in Eden or Shangri-La or Utopia with all the legislation that has been brought forward to remedy the ills of our province. But then you see this bill, where we're actually maybe creating some new ailments with the new director of vehicles and stickers, or creating needless additional paperwork for our healthcare professionals to report about a driver who doesn't drive that may have a condition who may affect their driving when they're not driving. So I would ask the Liberal members to ponder that for a moment. Why have we not got utopia here yet with all the legislation? You know, we should be on the Big Rock Candy Mountain or something. If their legislation was indeed effective and good. But more often than not, it's window dressing, and it's much like the distracted driver, it's distracted legislators on the Liberal bench who read from talking points, who don't read the legislation, don't understand the consequences of it, and I would put this as the final token. If all this legislation provided the remedies that it was intended to, why are all our offices continually inundated with calls from constituents who are feeling the injustice, the unfairness of the administration of government. Thank you very much.
Will the minister stick?
Thank you very much.